It's been over a decade since Star Citizen was first announced to the world. Picturing itself as an in-depth space MMO, Star Citizen has been developed by gaming studio Cloud Imperium Games, a studio that has yet to release a full game since it was founded back in 2011. Chris Roberts, the man behind Cloud Imperium Games and Star Citizen, continues to serve as the game director. And I mean, take a close look at this man, everyone, because he is a genius. Star Citizen was announced and offered up to gamers as a Kickstarter project in 2012. It has raised over $600 million, which the developer claims goes directly into the game's development. So on paper, Star Citizen is officially the most expensive video game to have ever been developed. It costs more than Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, Cyberpunk 2077, The Last of Us Part 2, and any other game you can think of. 10 years later, with $600 million raised and fans suing the game maker in an attempt to get their pledges back, the one question on my mind is, when is Star Citizen ever going to be fully released? And after spending a good amount of time researching and trying to source a confirmed date, I soon realised that I was asking the wrong question. Why would Cloud Imperium Games and Chris Roberts ever want to fully release Star Citizen? Back in the day, Chris Roberts was responsible for one of the most iconic space flight games in existence, the Wing Commander franchise, with the game first coming out in 1990. After founding Digital Anvil, which Microsoft had a minority stake in, 3 further games were released. However, Microsoft wasn't happy with Chris Roberts, and when they fully purchased Digital Anvil, Roberts left the company. His last credit to a fully completed game was Freelancer, released in the same year he left. Now this next bit is going to sound vaguely familiar to the current circumstances around Star Citizen, and I'm not one who believes in coincidences. So during the few years where Microsoft was invested in Digital Anvil and Chris Roberts, well, Roberts was working on the Wing Commander film. He also directed the film, which starred Freddie Prinze Jr. and was released in 1999 on a budget of around $27 million. It ended up recouping just over a third against its budget, and Stuart Mulder, Microsoft's general manager overseeing its investment, revealed that Roberts' energy and attention and some of the funds were siphoned off for that movie. The Digital Anvil investment has to be looked at as largely a failure. Roberts eventually went into the movie making business, producing forgettable films such as Outlander, The Big Y, and Lord of War. All of this was achieved for an investment fund using a tax scheme to raise money in Germany for Hollywood films. This practice was stopped by the German government in 2006, and the man in charge of that investment fund was eventually jailed for tax fraud. After playing filmmaker in the 2000s, Roberts eventually returned to gaming with Cloud Imperium Games and Star Citizen. Rather than have a company like Microsoft overseeing where and how the budget is being spent, Roberts quickly had access to hundreds of millions in pledged cash to spend on whatever he wanted to spend it on. Just imagine, 10 years later, after being ousted by a company that wasn't happy with how you were spending your money, to then see a budget rapidly grow by the year and having next to no accountability. Squadron 42 is probably one of the biggest examples of this. Developed as a single-player game set within the Star Citizen universe, Chris Roberts spared no expense with its cast. Gary Oldman, Mark Hamill, Gillian Anderson, Mark Strong, and Andy Serkis are just some of the names attached to this game, ultimately letting Roberts play movie director once more. Funnily enough, Squadron 42 is still yet to be given an actual release date, with the last trailer for the game released back in 2019. Mark Day, a former Wing Commander producer whose company was used to help work on Star Citizen, said, "As the money rolled in, what I considered to be some of Roberts' old bad habits popped up. Not being super focused. It had got out of hand in my opinion. The promises being made, call it feature creep, call it whatever it is, now we can do this, now we can do that." I was shocked. From reports of developers being forced to work through snowstorms, to Crytek suing Star Citizen around its game engine license, and everything else in between, to me, it's very obvious that Chris Roberts has zero intention of ever releasing Star Citizen or Squadron 42. Scam Citizen is a product that showcases the dangers of endless ambition without any thought or oversight. If you were given a blank check to continue developing a game without any accountability of ever releasing it, as technically it has been released in alpha, why would you want to stop that gravy train? And don't get me wrong, some of the technological feats Scam Citizen displays are incredible, but it basically amounts this game to being a very expensive tech demo, which is preyed off people that genuinely want to see and play a space sim game. Just look at the success Starfield is currently having. The demand for games like this is there, but that hasn't been truly capitalized on by the gaming industry. If you're happy to spend several grand on a ship and buy into Scam Citizen, then you do you. But right now, I'm already waiting for the article where $1 billion has been raised and no release date has been released. Comment down below your thoughts on Starfield. Have you bought in or continued laughing from the sidelines? Catch you in the next video. Peace.